there a specific muscle group you hate training? Do you ever end up going to the gym for a leg day, black out, and end up on the bench press, or vice versa? Do you just hate exercising in general? Just give me a few minutes of your time, and I could help you with that. They were still there 5 years later. I look like a triangle. You can achieve similar results by doing a lot less, thrusting 30 to 50 kilograms in order to promote muscle growth. Nice to see you. How you doing? I'm doing great, thank you for asking. Now, I tried recording this video on Friday, but apparently I can't multitask. So I had to remake my pre-workout, which doesn't take long, but then it was just really... I think they're toasted. They're fighting me back. So I'm redoing it 3 days later. I used to despise exercising as a kid. I did have a chubby phase during my teens, but that's a topic for another day. For those of you that do not know, I was a competitive gymnast for 7 years. And because of the level I was at, conditioning was a must. And she was intense. Which very quickly killed all my joy.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine.
There's always been one muscle group I've hated the most. And even after quitting, those feelings, they were still there 5 years later. So naturally, I did what any gym bro would do, and I skipped it. I skipped the day. Although this was very good for my upper body strength, my lower body suffered immensely. I looked like a triangle. At least I felt that way. Now this works for some people, but personally I did not enjoy looking like Johnny Bravo. I started to get aches and pains in all the places I didn't want to. It hurt to stand, it hurt to sit, it hurt to move. I couldn't do anything. I had to lay down. I couldn't do anything. It wasn't to the point where I was like immobile, but it was just pain. It was just unnecessary pain that I didn't really want. So eventually I actually had to start working on it. And at first it was really, really hard, but I found some ways that made working legs a little bit easier, especially the glutes. And I wanted to share some of those tactics with you in hopes that it could help you with your fitness journey, not even just legs, like any body part in general. It's important to note that I am not a qualified personal trainer. These are just some things that have helped me, and I hope that just by sharing them, they might help you too. First step happens before you even go to the gym. Do your research and plan. We are at a time where we're filled with resources, okay? YouTube videos, documentaries, magazines. Who reads a magazine anymore? I don't know. Mostly YouTube, let's be honest. You're here, I'm here. I would recommend looking at online videos and tutorials because it is easier just getting a visual of what you're supposed to be doing and how. It just gives you a greater insight into what exercises are actually out there and are possible for you to do. Figure out what muscle groups you want to train and how to do it effectively. We already dislike training these muscles, so we don't want to do more than we already have to. For example, my goal was training my glutes. When I did my research, I found out that the glutes have 3 main muscle groups: the medius, the maximus, and the minimus. So in order to train my glutes effectively at a basic level, I had to have some sort of squat exercise, hinge exercise, and abduction exercise. For my hinge exercise, I do hip thrusts. For the squatting exercise, I actually do step-ups. And for my abduction exercise, I either use the abduction machines or I do glute kickbacks. Coming up with a few exercises before you go to the gym ensures that you don't go back to the basics and you're not running around like a headless chicken.
Okay, we're trapped, everyone for himself! Okay, let's go! Let's go! Get out of my way! Okay.
It also saves time and gives you that little bit of extra confidence. Do not worry about building a specific workout program just yet. You're still in the testing phase. Working out can be a little bit like Marmite. What works for you might not necessarily work for someone else. Therefore, what works for the influencers you see online might not work for you either. Which is why I don't advise you to make a program off the bat, because unless you're David Goggins,
the water was cold!
You probably won't stick to it. Take that extra time to find some exercises that you enjoy. Pick at least 3 or 4 that don't make you want to kill yourself. Get yourself to the gym and pick a weight you feel comfortable with. Do not overload yourself with weights just to make your workout feel worthwhile. Thrusting 30 to 50 kilograms did not feel very good, and it did not make me want to carry on. It's not like I was doing it right anyway. You can achieve similar results by doing a lot less. I felt like I was beginning. As soon as I dropped those weights, I found myself wanting to do the exercise more because it felt less like a chore and more like I was developing an actual skill. There are many ways to progressively overload. I know you've probably heard those words a lot, darted around the fitness industry. For those of you that don't know what it means, don't worry, it's not as scary or intense as it sounds. All it means is that you have to effectively tire out your muscles over time in order to promote muscle growth. For me, this was increasing the reps and the time under tension, really preaching that mind-muscle connection. I halved the weight, and instead of just like throwing each rep as much as I could just to get those numbers in, I was actively thinking about my form, actively feeling the stretch at the bottom and the contraction at the top, obviously in the appropriate muscles. Which brings me on to my next point. Change the focus. Leg day stopped being about whether or not I looked like I could lift heavy or whether I could make it down the stairs later, and more about, does this feel right to me? And am I taking my time to make every rep count? So I still left the gym feeling stronger and accomplished. Only you know what you're capable of and whether or not you're really pushing yourself. For some people that may be a new PR, but I'm assuming because you're here for this video and not something else, it's more of a mental challenge than a physical one. So for more of you, maybe doing the exercises you actually planned, getting one more good rep in, or even making the weights lighter and doing one more set before moving on is still a step in the right direction. And try not to think of it as you have to. Okay, now this is becoming a bit of a cliche at this point. I'm hearing this phrase everywhere. Gratitude is so important, especially on your fitness journey. I am extremely grateful I get to wake up every day just so I can move my body. And hopefully you are too. So by simply changing your mindset to I get to work out, or I get to go to the gym, I get to prioritize my health, I actually get to make an effort. It's a powerful way to be grateful for what you could be taken for granted. And finally, no one cares! No one cares. Sounds a little mean out of context. Everyone either is or was a beginner at some point. And there was definitely a time they questioned what they were doing. Lifting light has never been embarrassing. What is embarrassing is ego lifting. So stop looking around the gym thinking that someone's laughing at you, because chances are they're not. Chances are they're probably trying not to let out the most gut-wrenching protein fart known to man, or trying not to faint. And anyone that does decide to judge you, it says a lot more about them than it does about you. Unless you're doing some weird CrossFit exercise that no one has ever seen before.
Oh! Somebody! Oh! He needs some milk!
And worst case scenario, if anyone does ask, just tell them that you're recovering from an injury.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
That is everything I have to talk about today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was informative for you, or you got some sort of thing from it, anything. I hope this made you feel at least a little bit better about your own journey, because it's not perfect. It's not gonna be perfect. And either motivated you to join the gym or start training calves. Leave a like so I know you enjoyed this video, and if you'd like to see more content, feel free to browse through my channel, or if there's something specific you'd like to see, drop a comment down below, because I'm not a mind reader, I won't know unless you tell me. Subscribe if you'd like to see a bit more of me in the future, because I really enjoyed seeing you, so I hope it's not one-sided. It was nice to see you, and I'll see you later.